how you can improve your conversions. That's the name of the game. We're in business, right? We want to be able to get results. There's a difference between curiosity seekers and people who are motivated to either find a solution or to take a step that they're ready to take. I was just curious if you can just leave it with us, and if I am interested, I'll get back to you, right? Ever heard anything like that before? Asking questions to be able to understand is the first step towards identifying which category people fall into. So you've got to get good at asking questions. Here's something else that I have found makes a big difference. You might have heard the expression, which is, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But you can put pepper in the oats. So what do I mean by that? Well, the pepper, of course, makes the horse really thirsty that it needs to drink. And this really comes back to asking questions, because then when you start to understand, you can enter into some kind of dialogue. Now, when you start entering into a dialogue, then what you can do is you can agitate the problem. Now, that sounds a little bit disingenuous, but it's actually not, because people make buying decisions primarily because of their emotion. So when someone says to me, that, yeah, I've been really struggling for sleep for quite a while. And I say, I noticed you mentioned that, this is starting to cause this sort of problem. Geez, I can't imagine what that must be like. I mean, how have you been coping with this for so long? And, what impact is that actually having on your family or on your kids? This is known as agitating the problem. And what it's doing is it's focusing their mind in on what the problem is. Then it puts you in a great position where you can firstly understand what the challenge is. You can show some empathy and understanding to what it is, but then you can pivot and you can then turn around and say, we have this amazing product and it helps with the challenges you just mentioned. And then if you can throw in a testimonial, I have this lady who was really struggling with this. This had been going on for 2 or 3 years. And she told me that it was the first time she got a good night's sleep for over 2 years. And it's a really simple product, but hey, I've got a class on it, or I've got some information on it, or I've got a video on it. Let me send it to you, and then I'll give you a call back and we're going to have a chat. And if you want to get it, then great, I'm happy to help. If it's not for you, there's no problem. People make decisions because of their emotions. That's the first thing. Agitate the problem. So ask questions, understand, enter into a dialogue, and then bring in the solution. And what you're going to find is that when you do this, you're going to find people who fall into this category, curious, or people who are going to fall into motivated. And you can see why that is definitely going to influence the conversion rate. Because when someone has got a big problem and you've identified it and it is a real issue and the need to find a solution, and then you rock up and you provide a solution that can be validated and there's testimonials surrounding it, they're going to be much more likely when you present the offering to them to help them, that they're going to take it. So this is the difference between someone who's a little bit more experienced in communicating and understands this concept that I've just shared with you, because they naturally start to thread that into their everyday communications, and they're getting much better results, while you're just frustrated as hell and you feel like you're putting the work in and you're wasting your time and you can't get anyone who's interested in what you have to offer. And you'll usually find that this is at the center of it. So the better you get at asking questions and don't just talk, understand, enter into a dialogue, show some empathy, some understanding, ask more questions, and as I say, agitate things a little bit, then the reality is this is how you are going to be much better able to serve. So I hope that helps. Start applying that into what it is that you do, and just give it a little bit of time to get better. Remember, it takes time and practice to be able to get to the place where it just kind of happens naturally and you feel confident about it. But if you don't practice, you're never going to get there. All right. So have a great day, everyone. Speak to you soon. Ciao, ciao.